Hi loves! Welcome back to the Aphrodite podcast, where I help you become unapologetically your authentic self. So for today's video, there was a bit of complication. I tried using a different application to edit my video, and the video part was destroyed, so it's gonna be audio only for today. For my audio listeners on Apple Podcasts, that's totally fine. Nothing's going to change. For my YouTube viewers, feel free to just play this in the back while you're washing dishes or doing your chores, and enjoy. So for today's video, I'm going to be talking about how the people that you surround yourself with will either make or break you. So from the title, as you see, you give an inch, they'll take a mile. When you're insecure with yourself, you surround yourself around insecure people. Whether that be you're insecure about yourself physically, whether you're insecure about your identity because you don't know who you are, you don't know what your beliefs, what your core values are, or you live based off what other people tell you, so you have no sense of self, you will attract what you are. So when you surround yourself around people who continue to do bad, who continue to submit to their addictions, who continue to gossip about people because they get a sense of validation from outside people and people agreeing with them and people validating their feelings, the greater the hate the person has from themselves, the greater the insecurity, the greater the predatory they are. They see people who maybe have insecurities but aren't as insecure as them. They'll call you to their group of friends. They'll call you to their community. They'll start showing you how to behave like them. Whether that be submitting to the same addictions, whether that be spewing evil and talking gossip about other people, they see that you are influential, that you are able to be molded because you have no sense of direction. A lot of the times that's not really your own fault, because some people are surrounded by negative people, whether it be within their house, at school, at work, all negative people. But you cannot say because you are surrounded by negative people that it's justified to be negative, that it's justified to talk negative. Yes, maybe that's all you knew for a while, but a lot of us know that there's alternatives out there. We just choose not to behave in the alternative better ways, because that means that we have to do the introspection, the reflection of what's wrong with us, that we behave this way. Why do we allow these people in our lives to take advantage of us, to make us behave differently and guilt us from wanting to change to be better? Why do we hold their opinion and validation at such a high standard? An example of this is a personal example, I would say. It's a very simple story. I allowed someone to watch my cats, and I expected the person to take care of them how I would take care of them. That's something that people tend to make a mistake, thinking that people will treat us how we treat them. So a lot of the time we think because we're treating the person good, we're doing good things for the person, we're helping them through things, that they'll do the same thing back to us. That's incorrect. Not everyone is like that. Some people will see that you will do good for them, that you will do a lot for them, but then when it comes time for them to show up for you, they're not there, or they give a half-assed try at trying to be there for you and being like, well, I did the best I could, take it or leave it. And then you stay, because you think that's what you deserve. You do this nice thing, and then you allow the disrespect. You give an inch, they take a mile. To go back to the story, I asked this person to watch my kittens, and when I got back, it was only 3 days. I got back, my place was trashed. There was garbage in the fridge, dirt everywhere. Like, it was just a lack of, you could just tell either the person wasn't there and the kittens were just all by themselves, or they just completely did nothing and they didn't care that it was left that way. Some people will know that you won't change or you won't leave them, so they decide to give you less or give you the shorthand of the stick. They don't want to do good for you because they don't even know how to do good for themselves. You chose to be around these type of people. You chose to be around people who talk badly about themselves. And then when you want to talk badly about yourself, they may say, oh, why are you talking? you have this, and that. I experienced this a lot in high school, and I would say I didn't really have much of a choice because it was a small town, and you can't really pick and choose when you're limited, right? So I decided to be friends with everybody, so when I had my limit of someone, I could go to someone else and have a different type of energy. But what I realized growing up now is all of those people were insecure in some way. And obviously I was insecure too because I allowed that type of behavior. That was because that type of behavior was in my house as well. My biggest hater was in my house. So when people outside of me started hating me, whether that be if I said something like, oh, I look a bit funny today, my legs are kind of small, I want to put on more muscle. Why are you talking about your weight, you're skinny, you have nothing to worry about. They project their insecurities onto you. Or people would say something along the lines of, oh, why are you hanging out with that person? They talk bad about you, they don't even like you. Why are you telling me about what other people are doing? When someone's talking bad about someone else, they are talking bad about you too. They think, who are you to have more friends or think that you can be better than me? I am better than you. They think that you are beneath them. So when they see you trying to be better or be around different types of people, they start to spew their hate and their insecurities onto you. At the time, I really kind of just brushed it off because I was like, well, in my head, I was like, I don't really have much of an option. All you do is gossip, and all she does is drink and be around men that cheat on her and stuff like that. So, two hells, why would I choose one over the other and be stuck with one constant negative input? This was my problem and my insecurity. I was afraid of being alone when I should have just been alone, even if that meant I was talking to no one or sitting by myself. I had a fear of not being accepted by others, or not even just accepted, just not having anyone and being alone, because I was alone so much at home that I didn't want to also be alone in my social life. But that doesn't mean tolerating disrespect, because when you allow people to disrespect you, they'll keep seeing where your standards lie and how far they can push it and how far they can benefit from you not liking yourself, from you choosing to be beneath them. I started to realize this. I started changing my self-concept and my ideas of life, and when I started changing, things started changing in my life. When I got scholarships for university, and I told these so-called friends, none of them were happy for me. They questioned it. How can you get scholarships? What? They thought they were smarter. Even if they were smarter, by numbers' sake, your worth isn't determined by what someone else puts on a piece of paper. It's about who you are and your drive and your values and how you achieve your goals and identify your identity. When they saw that they couldn't impact me anymore and they started retreating, then it was about getting other people to also dislike me and making lies up about me so they could get validation about their own insecurities and the things that I triggered in them. When I moved out the first time, the second time, the third time, the people who would help me would get less and less, because to them, they were comparing themselves to me, being like, well, I didn't achieve that. Why would I help her achieve her dreams? These are insecure people. You can't be around people that don't want to see you succeed. They want you to stay in that same low vibration that they're at so they can feel better about themselves. Some people would say that they're your friends, but then they, for example, I guess to clarify this better, I had a friend who I thought, at the time I don't think she talked bad about me. If she did, I really wouldn't know, but I thought this was someone that cared for me as much as I cared for them. And they took me in at my lowest time. But I started to realize anytime something bad was going on in my life, there was no support for me. But when things were going bad in their life, they expected support. or when they surrounded themselves around people who are racist or people who gossip, and they would justify those people's behaviors. Even if they didn't agree with it, they would say, oh, but I talked to them, so it's okay now. So it's like they don't really care that other people may view the person they so-called their friend. They don't care that other people view them badly or talk about them badly or say racist stuff, and yet they still expect you to show up for them, but they won't come to your defense or actually be there for you. These are not people that you should be in your life. People that should be in your life are people that give the same effort that you expect or that you put in. If you are kind to people and you are showing up for people when they're in need, or you are giving advice to your best of knowledge on how to do better or how to feel better, or how you want to grow, or how the person could grow, good friends, good people to surround yourself around are people that support you, people that show you how you could do something better to better get to your goal. People that won't put you down because they see you succeeding, that won't question what it is that you're doing in life because they don't see it in their life. They see it as God is in the corner, God is near, because this person is getting blessed. And it's not I'm staying near this person because there's good luck and I want it to rub off on me, but it's I see this person doing good. I love that they're doing good. Good for them. Hopefully it rubs off on me too, because I also want to do good, and I also want to emit this love and this good energy. Just because you're nice to someone doesn't mean that they're nice to you, or doesn't even mean that they'll pour into you. And someone could be nice to your face and then completely talk crap about you behind your back. What do you do after that? What is your action? Because if you allow that, you're giving them the chance to take a mile. And you're pushing yourself back. Your self-esteem, your self-identity, everything about you, you're minimizing when you allow people like that to have access to you. And when I was at, for example, back to the high school thing, when I was at my lowest, I had fallen ill and I had absolutely no support, family-wise, I guess. And I turned to these friends, so-called friends. I realized that these people were only there for the good times or what they could benefit from. You're going through a rough time? Screw that. I'm not going to be there for you, because even if their problems weren't as vast as mine or as yours, they would see it as an inconvenience to even have to take on that weight. And you wouldn't want that. Obviously, you should ask someone if they have this mental capacity to take on what it is you have to talk about. But if they don't even give you the opportunity to talk about it or ask, these are not people who have your best interest. They just keep you around to boost their ego or their self-esteem. But yeah, when they see you start doing good, they don't want to be around you. Or they will be around you, but then they'll start doing things behind your back. And to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of these people that I used to know went back to the people that cheated on them, or continued in their ways of gossiping and their addictions and their high sense of pride within themselves, which is actually just masked as insecurities and not knowing themselves. I wouldn't be surprised if things started going wrong in their life. Not that I want things to go wrong for their life. Everyone's on their own journey. But I'm saying these people probably don't have a good sense of identity. So I wouldn't be surprised if my name was still in their mouth. I wouldn't be surprised if they were still stuck in their same ways. But you cannot care about what other people are doing, because when you care about what other people are doing, you're taking away energy from yourself and improving yourself and putting it onto these people. And in a way that is giving them the chance to increase that mile. They're taking up your space. They're taking up your emotions, anger, hate, shame, guilt, any negative emotion that may be associated with these type of people or these type of actions. You can't stoop to their level just to make yourself feel better. The only way you'll feel better is by improving yourself. is by forgiving yourself that you allowed that type of disrespect to begin with, but to know that you didn't know better. Or maybe you didn't even have the option to choose better, because in my example, it was a small class in a small town. There wasn't much place that I could go. Staying in that victimhood of, oh, bad things were done to me in my house, so I'm gonna do bad things outside of the house, and I'm going to justify it because that makes me feel better to know that I can do bad because bad was done to me. This is such a bad way to live life. And yeah, I wish them luck, honestly. For the longest time, I was so confused. How can people who claim to be my friend, people who claim to love me or care for me or had respect, how can they be so two-faced? How can they say one thing and act a completely different way? It's not a reflection of you. That's what I've come to understand now. Or better now. I knew then, but better now I understand that people act based on how they feel. So when someone's acting nasty, when someone is gossiping, when someone is telling someone else to stop talking to you because they feel insecure about how that person may perceive you or how that person may compare you to them, it's not your problem. If it's not working, it's not meant to be. What's in alignment for you will stay there with you. Don't minimize yourself just to stay in the comfort of, oh, I have people around me, I have friends around me. Sometimes you need a period of isolation to really get to know yourself and your thoughts and your identity and why you have the insecurities you have or why you behave the way you have. And people who chronically date relationship after relationship, or they go back to previous relationships because they're so scared of being alone and staying with their thoughts, these people will never succeed in anything. They'll just keep going through the same tragedies over and over again in different faces, different bodies, different people. The only way you grow is by reflection and improvement and emitting love and kindness and forgiveness. Having forgiveness for yourself and forgiveness for how other people treated you, and making a promise to yourself that you will never allow someone to disrespect you again. Boundaries are an act of self-love. That's how you show yourself that you love yourself. Boundaries and discipline. If you don't have those, you will be walked all over. And you will be bent in different ways to fit other people's needs. So, at the end of the day, you can stick with these people. But trust, when that 5 years, when that 7 years, when that 10 years passes by, you will still be in the same loop, if not worse. The same insecurities, the same gossiping big mouth, the same waking up and hating your life, vibrating at such a low frequency. And you can't, the crazy thing is people act the same and act negatively and be like, why is nothing changing? Why is my life not improving? That's insane. That's literally definition of insanity. Doing the same thing and behaving the same way, expecting different results. You're a bad person. You're an insecure person. You're going to attract bad things and insecure people. So yeah, if you want to do better for yourself, definitely look at who your friends are and ask yourself, if I were to be that person with their insecurities and their hate and everything, would I be happy with myself? Show me your friends and I'll show you your future. That's a very true saying. So if you've been listening this far, thank you. And if you got anything from it, leave a like, leave a comment, leave a thought, subscribe, and feel free to share this with someone who could also use the wake-up call. Tune in next Monday for another video. I filmed the last 2 videos, this video and the other one back to back. That's why I'm in the same outfit. But yeah, progress doesn't start unless you decide to start doing different and doing better. Just because you say you want to do better, but you're still surrounding yourself around things and people that make you go back to your old ways or make you feel shame for wanting to be better or act more authentic to yourself. These people think that they know you, they don't. And maybe you don't even know yourself, and that's why you're allowing this type of behavior. So, find your authentic self. Find the love for yourself. Find your self-identity. And remove yourself from these people, because they'll be the end of you. They will condition thoughts and belief and reaffirm your insecurities. And these are not people you want to be around. You have to grieve what you thought were friends. Go to therapy, it'll help. Anyhow, thanks for listening. I'll see you next Monday. Bye.